Oh boy, yeah, we Yo TV, we back here.
Youth culture, youth voices, youth power, coming at you.
What's happening, we Yo TV out here?
Before we go any further, I have to dig up the magazine. Youth Outlook.
Oh boy, tell us if you know.
Youth Outlook, chronicle of young people's lives in the Bay Area.
Known all over the Bay and beyond.
Got a lot of good stuff for you this time. Yo!
Well, hi, I'm Daisy.
Chris.
And I'm Melshonda.
Yeah.
And today we're here on Hayden Ashbury. And we're asking people questions about tattoos, if they have tattoos, why they get them, and basically what influences their tattoos.
Alright, Datama, this is where I was born and raised. And this is the good times, the bad times I had. And this are the flags where I'm from, Tibet. And this says Put, means Tibet, and this is the birds that fly around.
That is so cool.
Cherokee Indian tribal from my grandfather, Chief Running Bull.
You see? That's sick.
Um,
two people?
It actually was the DRI guy. It's just pretty much a cover-up, but it's just got sentimental value now. This is Infinity for infinite life, and Flaming Infinity just accentuates it.
Oh,
that's
cool,
pretty much all
man.
I have.
Hi. My name is Rain. I have a stick and poke of hold fast on my shoulder.
What does that mean?
It means like always stay strong no matter in what situation. If it's what you believe in, it's what you believe in.
Cool.
My knuckles, that was stupid. I'm not even going to say what it used to say. It was nothing too bad. This right here, the squatters' rights means a lot. I don't know if you guys are familiar with what squatters' rights is, or.
I'm not sure.
Alright, well, it's pretty much, it's a nomadic symbol. And this one I actually did myself left-handed, and I'm right-handed. And it was all stick and poke too.
That's hella clean.
All stick and poke, and that's so I don't get lost.
I like that. So that's, you got your own compass on you, huh?
Right. And I got
right there, man.
got this right here, SKP, that's Schwilly Kid Posse. Only gang I'll ever represent. And that's pretty much about it.
It's basically straight.
Can we see it?
NorCal.
Can we see the whole thing?
Can you see the whole thing? Can you see it? A family member did it. My uncle owns NorCal surf shops around the country, so basically it's like a family. Everyone in my family has the same tattoo. Goes across your back and comes across your shoulders. Just NorCal.
And NorCal symbolizes what? The city?
NorCal Surf.
Oh, surf.
It's a big surfing company all up down California.
My arms are the four elements. It's water and fire.
That is so cool.
This is earth and air. It was just something I was always interested in. I wanted my arms to be all one piece, so that's why I had them done that way.
Wow. Oh, wow.
The one on the back of my neck is Mithra. It's a Persian god of the sun. It's a sun lion, basically. And the one on the back of my head is kind of like a... I mean, technically it's a swastika, but it's not like a Nazi swastika.
Okay.
My brother gave me this one night. I was on my way to Hawaii, and you know, I'm into dragons, and so he does a fire-breathing dragon.
Cool.
Coming out of a cave. And
That's pretty dope, man.
Yeah, hell, he didn't even finish the scales. It was like unworked.
Pretty much like the way that I'm doing it with getting tattoos and stuff, it's just that they have to like mean something in like my time and like my life.
Word of advice, don't ever tattoo anything on your knuckles unless you really want it there.
21 years ago, DC was sued because of its horrible, inhumane treatment of juveniles in the juvenile justice system. And it went into a consent decree that said, we will do such and such to improve our treatment of youth. At any point that they don't do that, you can come under receivership. And so the feds can come in and take you over. DC about 4.5 years ago was at that point of being under receivership. So the mayor then said, we're going to go in a whole other direction, and I'm going to put a reformer over the system that's going to totally change corrections-based juvenile justice into something that can rehabilitate and treat youth. When this new administration came on 3.5 years ago, there were 240 youth in this facility. So it was over capacity by 80 youth. Today, there are 90 youth in the facility. By January 09, there'll be 60 because we're building a new facility that only has 60 youth, 60 beds in it, and we're closing this facility. There was never girls on this campus. There was a unit for girls right up the street. For the girls in DC, there was only about 7% of our population, and we realized only about twice a year do we need to have a girl locked up. So we closed the whole unit, and every now and then when a girl raises to that level, we send them to a residential treatment center. The basis of many of our reforms is incarceration is inherently harmful. That being the basis, we say we're only going to lock up youth who need to be incarcerated because they're such a threat to the public safety that we need to lock them up while they're going through their rehabilitative process. What we did both physically and programmatically is we transformed each of these units into much more home-like therapeutic environments. So we put carpet down, wood beds. We also trained the staff. All the staff on those units went through an intensive 3.5-week training on what we call the DC model. It's a model around helping young people rehabilitate. I think education is ground zero around helping young people. The major job of a young person is to go to school. It's hard when the school they go to is underperforming, is inadequate, is inferior, is a substandard, and that's the kind of way schools are around the country in inner cities, particularly in juvenile justice facilities. So what we did when we came here is we trained staff, we changed the units, we put a structured program into the facility, but the basis of the reform of this institution was changing the school. So we have a school here where we have young teachers who are enthusiastic, who are passionate about teaching young people. They're engaged with them. We have one-on-one tutoring and reading in the afternoons. It's really, you feel an academic presence and a difference. I mean, we have things going on that don't go on in regular schools. We had a Shakespeare performance where our young people did Julius Caesar in Harlem and did an awesome, awesome job. And they won top honors amongst 60 schools in the area. And these are young people who would not just be doing Shakespeare, period, wouldn't be in school, let alone winning a area-wide Shakespeare performance. And we had youth go down to Mississippi to help the Gulf Coast recovery after Hurricane Katrina. We took 4 groups of youth to week-long trips to Arizona camping. These are young people locked up that we take on these excursions and trips to really give them new experiences and opportunities. Some stuff that's normal for your average young person growing up, but it's not normal for them. So we want to normalize their experience so that they can participate in society like everyone else. Like any juvenile justice system in the country, the public school runs the school on campus. The school itself didn't function the way we wanted it to function. So we went through a long negotiation process to get the money that was being spent on the school, that we can spend that on a contract to get a new school vendor in. See Forever responded. See Forever is an organization that runs charter schools, very good charter schools in Washington, D.C. So from 2:30 to 5:30, they run 5 vocational programs, some of which you saw. With that same money, they run a transition school. So when these youth get out of here, they can go to the same school, but in the community, to help them reintegrate into their regular school. And that's one of the biggest problems is when you get out, particularly toward the end of the school year. No school wants to accept you. A lot of what we have going on this campus, we still don't like. There's a big part of it is we got to do a lot of more help with our staff, a lot of more training, a lot of more coaching, because, to their defense, these were people who were hired to be correctional officers, to count the kids and lock them up, and now we're asking them to be youth development specialists, to actually change their title and change their function. If we were doing this in California, we would be gone. The guards union is so powerful in California, it stops reform from happening. California can be too complacent in the harsh treatment of juveniles that is ineffective. When all you do is just lock young people up and don't give them opportunities and supports, that doesn't change them. The success we're having in our school, the success we're having with our innovative programs can be a learning tool for California. And we've got to spend the money where we need to spend the money, because we spend a lot of money on incarceration. It costs about $175,000 a year per youth in the California Youth Authority. If we spent half that money in the community, wrapping around services for them and engaging our community partners, we can be as successful and not needing these institutions 100 miles away from the youth and their families.
I'm Walter Lopez.
And I'm Vanessa Vega.
And we're here outside the Metrodome for the midnight show of Batman the Dark Knight.
Only on YoTV.
Let's go check it out.
can I ask you guys, what's your guys' favorite characters in this movie?
I gotta go with the Joker all the way. Actually, not just Batman himself. Yeah. Of course, the Joker.
I guess this kind of goes against what I'm wearing, but I really like the Riddler.
I would say Batman, and this is the closest I can get.
I'm gonna say Batman.
I'd probably have to say Joker.
I'd go for the Joker also.
The Joker for sure, just because of Heath Ledger, man.
My brother and the campaign want to harness all of the communicative potential that is available. And he is both respectful and grateful for all of these bridges and lines of contact that help him to not only reach these communities with his message, but also to get information about these communities and the needs of these communities to him.
Who has a window sign for Barack Obama? Who traveled by bus and train and plane for Barack Obama? All right. And it is now my pleasure to introduce Barack's sister. You know, if you have followed who she is, she's incredible. She is what you would hope for in Barack's sister. Maya Sotoro Ng personifies who Barack is as an individual, as a member of a family, and as someone who is dedicated to everything he talks about by birth. With that, I am very, very honored and privileged to introduce to San Francisco Bay Area, Maya Sotoro Ng.
My purpose here is to really first and foremost to thank you. I have heard about all of your good work, your industry, your tenacity, and it has been a true honor, a real privilege to campaign. Barack comes, for instance, from a family of very strong women. Our mother was there in Hawaii, and when she met Barack's father and mine, and here was a brave woman. And she hopped on the back of motorcycles to work with women in rural credit programs all around the world. And she is the one who insisted that we engage in a life of service. And yes. And then there's Michelle, who has been an amazing sister to me, and who is an amazing mother to those girls. They are the most broad-minded, far-reaching, generous, spirited individuals. And so much of that is testament to the kind of parents that Barack and Michelle are. And so much of what Barack and Michelle do is so that all of our children can have what those girls have, and can thrive. Do much more than survive. They can thrive.
My name is Matthew Sapona, and I'm 15 years old at Lowell High School, and we have recently started Obama Nation. It's mostly focused on training teenagers like my age for grassroots campaign organizing, phone banking, canvassing, and voter registration drives. So why are we supporting him is because he will actually help us get into college. That's why we are so passionate about Barack Obama.
What did you take away most of all from Barack's sister, Dr. Ng? What was the one thing that you remember most from what she said?
About how she was so passionate. She said that Barack Obama so supports women, and just like me, I'm from a family of women, and that really inspired, that really touched my own heart.
He has a family that is exceedingly diverse, not only in terms of its racial and ethnic composition, but also in terms of its experiences. Our mother lived in 13 different places, and he has traveled all through this country. I think one of his greatest strengths is this ability to forge connections between communities within this nation.
Our population is becoming more and more diverse, and that discussion is so critical for not just people of color and communities of color, but also American society, because in the next 40 years we will become a majority-minority country, and we are already in California, majority minority state.
He is a once-in-a-lifetime candidate. He is someone who we may not ever see again in our lifetime. When he says that this is the defining moment in our generation, I truly believe that, because the war, the war in Iraq, our country's in peril. I think that he will bring us back to that standing in the international community where we belong.
It's important that we recognize that America is a diverse and complex place, and that there are so many different textures and tones and languages and experiences that inform the tapestry of this country, and that it's time that we really see ourselves fully. And this campaign has been about real inclusion, real representative democracy, real grassroots activism.
Yo TV, what up? Get it? Well, this is Yo TV, and we document on anything and everything that goes on in the Bay Area. Yeah.
I mean, a lot of things happen over here, not necessarily killings and stuff like that, but I mean, a lot of people have went to jail over here and things like that. My auntie Miss, she stay locked up for all kind of things. She real violent. She like to kidnap people, hold them hostage and stuff like that. My daddy had been to jail before. My mama been there before. My cousin Bug, he stay getting locked up. Matter of fact, he in Santa Rita now because he just turned 18. I basically know a lot of people that been to jail before. This girl had stole my money out of my purse. I told the teacher about it. She didn't do nothing, so I took it in my own hands and I asked her about it. She started laughing. I didn't like the answer she gave me, so we started fighting. I said I wasn't gonna go to juvenile hall, and I have went there. She went to the hospital or whatever. They said she was unconscious for approximately 5 minutes. I got taken to juvenile hall, and the girl that stole my money didn't get any consequences, and they trying to make her out to be the victim. I got kicked out. I went to juvenile hall for 2 weeks, and then I was on house arrest for about a month. Now I'm on probation. I got to do anger management. I did community service already, and I had to take a cop class. I don't feel I need anger management classes. I know I get upset at times, but I don't think that it's that serious for me to be having to take anger management. I think I was just upset because she stole my money, and I really believe that I was supposed to be. I don't think that nothing I did was wrong, and I'm not sorry for it. I'm sorry if she got injured badly, like they trying to say she did, but I'm not sorry for what I did and why I did it. Since I've been out, I think that my parents encouraged me to like get a job and things like that, and to go to school and graduate and all that. But I believe that a lot of it came from me, just wanting to go to school and just wanting to get a job, to have my own money and things like that. I have a side hustle, which is braiding. I've been braiding for 5 years, since I was in the 6th grade. I used to always like to braid, so I used to braid my baby doll's hair or whatever. And when I was attending Frick Junior High, a lot of my friends liked the work that I did and asked me to braid their hair. So I started out braiding a lot of people's hair for free just to practice and stuff. If I was to work in the shop, I would have to rent a booth and pay them for letting me work in their shop and all that. And all that I don't think all that is necessary when I could just braid at my house. Well, after I was released, they told me that I'm not supposed to be by San Leandro High. I got to be like 200 yards or 200 feet away from there. Before I went to juvenile hall, I was a good student. I was an honor roll student. I mean, I never really got in trouble. Right now, I attend Rockland Flesh Community Day School. It's basically like a high school. The only difference is they don't have honors classes and dances and things like that. I think this incident has affected my education a lot because, like when I went to San Leandro High School, I had 2 honors classes, and I was doing very good in them. But now it seems like since I'm at Rockland Flesh, it seems like I'm behind, and when I go back, I'll be behind. In a few months, I will hope to tell you guys that I'm on probation and that I'm bonding with my family more, still maintaining all A's, but I would like to be in a regular high school.
Start getting into makeup and wanting to create my own makeup for women. Some of my role models are like people like Mary Kay, and I seen what they were doing, and I was like, well, I could do that too. I carry triplet eyeshadows, which you see right here. So for the woman that's on the go, that wants to make her makeup look good. And I have my single eyeshadows for people that just want a single eyeshadow, and I have about 12 colors. And then I made my lip gloss. This is a little bit more shinier, more color pigment. And then I have my bronzer and my blush. You can put the blush on your cheeks and then the bronzer all over to complete it. And then I have my lipsticks. I have about 21 lip colors. And I have my lip glosses for all ages. A lot of young girls like these because what I came up, I'm also a bartender. So I came up with the ideal to event lip gloss, but with the name of, this is Lemon Drop, this is Strawberry Daiquiri, this is Tequila Sunrise, and this is Apple Martini. They have flavor to it, and it's not too much color, and it's good. It's like a lip balm. It makes your lips from being chapped, give it shine, a natural look. And then I also have my famous ones, which is my lip sparkles, and I have these in 12 different colors. And then I have my eye dust shadows, which is really good with the young girls because a lot of young girls like glitter. And then I have my mascara, which I did in a different tube because the packaging looks better so you can see what colors you're actually buying. And this is also the same packaging. I thought it would be cute to put like a nude color in it, so I only carry nude in this color. And then I have my packaging when you buy. I put my little packaging in. And this is my makeup, chemistry. When you do makeup, you have to do tests and everything doesn't go because it won't react with the humans right. You know, it could be breakouts, and you have to make sure that when you put your line out there that you won't have no lawsuits or anything because, you know, it's about the skin and how it reacts to humans. So that was the hardest part. And another hard part was putting all my money into something I really believe in. I don't want to be the type of person that has clients that come to me all the time. I want a close relationship with my clients. I want them to know they could come to me and I could teach them how to put their makeup on, apply it. This is my model, Corey. So I'm gonna do her neutral look today. We started off by adding a lighter, middle color eyeshadow with the triplets. We used Cappuccino. Then we creased her eyelid, which you start off from the corner and you work your way in the middle. We did the darkest color out of the 3 eyeshadows. Then we came up to the eyebrow where we used the lighter color. So you always use the middle color for the eyelid, the darker color for the crease, and the lighter color to highlight your eyebrows. Then we came down to the blush where we put a little brush to highlight her cheekbones and bronzer to complete the look. Then we put 2 colors, which were browns and pixie lipstick sparkles for the look. And then we applied the mascara.
When you think of pimping in the Bay Area, you probably think of movies like The Mac, an Oakland-based 1970s blaxploitation film, or commonly quoted rap lyrics from rappers such as Too Short, Tupac, E40, Andre Nickatina, and Mac Dre. The thought of real prostitution being done by sexually and commercially exploited children and young adults probably doesn't cross your mind, but that's exactly what's happening, as Pimping 2.0 finds new ways to make money in an ever-saturated sex market covered by a slumping economy. To find out what is really going on out there in the streets of the Bay Area, Yo Youth Outlook took part in the first ever Sexually Exploited Youth Conference, sponsored by Youth Uprising, SEM, the Sexually Exploited Minors Network, and the County of Alameda.
This week we kind of had an appreciation luncheon at the beginning of the week just to kind of appreciate everyone that's, you know, working with sexually exploited minors, partners of, you know, the SIM network and et cetera. But today is more so, is just bringing all of our partners and people that we work with that know us together and just kind of giving them more information. Like the topic is, it's no longer invisible. So again, educating the community and making people more aware of the situation.
When we started this process 4 years ago, oftentimes when we read something in the newspaper or in a magazine, it was sort of titillating. It was not necessarily addressing the fact that these young girls were victims and they were being lured and coerced. Oftentimes we read things like, they're making a choice to do this. And as we delve deeper into the issue, most of these young people are not making a choice, they're being lured and coerced.
Pimping isn't new. In fact, it's one of the oldest professions known to man. But there are new methods of pimping that would raise even the most jaded of eyebrows.
There's a style of pimping called guerrilla pimping, and that's basically when a person just snatches the young person or the woman up off the street and forces them into the lifestyle. So yeah, that does happen. Are you asking, is that common? Yeah, that's very common.
A lot of it before was some girl falling in love with an older guy, and then 6 months down the line, he switches up, and now you're gonna go out there and sell your body for me.
Right.
But now these girls are actually kidnapped, and there's no love. There's no such thing as, I'm gonna be your boyfriend and then turn you into a hoe.
So who are these young women and men involved in sexual exploitation? We talked to the mother of a missing girl at the Sexually Exploited Minors Conference to find out her point of view.
My name is Mickey Vargas. I'm from the Bay Area, and my daughter, Monica Anderson, as you can see on my shirt, this is the recent shirt that was made, and specifically says and directly has a little star on it on the map that says Oakland, because that's where she's been. She's just recently turned 17, April 14th. She's been missing going on 7 months. This is the longest she's ever been gone. We have heard from her once, that was a little over a month ago. She sounded okay and everything, but she just won't say where she's at, and I'm trying to listen to hear where she is. She's in someone's house, so someone's keeping her there.
These young women are actually victims of human trafficking. That's why Missy has coined the term commercially sexually exploited minors.
The title comes from the fact that they're viewed as a commercial object and a sexual object. So that's why you call them commercially sexually exploited minors. And then exploitation obviously identifies the form of abuse. What Missy does is we work with transitioning youth who are involved in this form of abuse. So we get referrals from all major systems, from the police to the district attorney's office to social services. And once we get the referral from the child, we meet with the child, and from there we begin to transition the child from their experience on the streets and their past experiences of abuse into a child's lifestyle that would be more appropriate for their age and their stage in life.
Ibesi was invited to the table to be a part of this network. Because of our case management program, we're often referred young people who are on the streets, who are getting pimped, who are getting pushed into that industry, who are at risk of going down that road. And so oftentimes we'll work with the SEM network and refer to them, or they'll refer young people to us once they feel they're ready to transition into more mainstream services.
It goes everything from school enrollment to therapeutic services to engaging them in recreational services to working with the other adults in their life, probation officers, child welfare workers, parents, etc., to make sure that they're getting their needs met and they don't have any reason to be vulnerable to returning to the streets.
I'm in motion. I'm in motion. I'm in motion. I'm in motion. I'm in motion.